Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Doncic, Porzingis. What do they all have in common? They were all born outside the United States. All of them are all-star caliber players and are currently some of the best players in the league. But who laid the foundation for these foreign players to come into the league and dominate? Who are the foreign legends? Today, I wanted to cover the foreign legends and list the top 10 foreign NBA players of all time, starting with number 10. Before we start, I wanted to thank you for watching my channel and ask you to hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. Today's goal is to get to 10 likes on this video and see if we can get to 15 subscribers. Also, at the end of the video, we have details about how you can be entered into getting a shout-out giveaway, so be sure to stay until the end. Welcome to the Hoop Nation. Number 10. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is the only player in the 90s that won NBA championships with the Houston Rockets, besides Michael Jordan and his Bulls. Probably the first center that had all-around versatility of the point guard while being dominant at the center. When you watch Jokic and Embiid play today, that's the basketball Hakeem played nearly 20 years ago. He won 2 championships, and in 1994 became the only player in the history of the league to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same year. He was the first global international NBA superstar and really opened the doors for many African players into the league. Number 9. Dikembe Mutombo. Coming from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Mutombo was one of the first African players to play the league with Hakeem and Manute Bol. As a center, he became a symbol of block shots. With that came his iconic finger waving to the opponent and later to the crowd to avoid technicals. Even though he wasn't the best scorer, his defense brought him 4 Defensive Player of the Year titles and is widely considered to be one of the best defensive players of all time. Number 8. Yao Ming. Yao Ming brought basketball and the NBA to China, allowing for the current growth of the NBA to happen, fueled with Chinese money. At 7'6", he instantly became an international basketball sensation all over the world. During his 8 NBA seasons, he played only for the Houston Rockets, and in that time he won 5 All-NBA Team awards and was voted to 8 All-Star appearances. However, he had many injuries through his career that didn't allow him to show all of his true potential. Number 7. Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk is one of my favorite foreign players to ever play in the NBA. Coming from a small German town, Dirk entered the league quietly, but quickly changed the game forever. Before him, power forwards were slow, huge guys who couldn't hit a jump shot if their life depended on it. But here, we had a 7-foot skinny guy who was dropping buckets from everywhere. He made the Dallas Mavericks the contender in the West for more than a decade, reaching 2 NBA Finals, and finally winning a ring against the Miami Heat in 2011. He won many personal accolades, but what will be remembered is his iconic turnaround, one-leg fadeaway jump shot. The Mavs even put it as a logo on their court. What a legend. Number 6. Toni Kukoc. One of the representatives of the Yugoslavian basketball on this list, Toni Kukoc was a product of the same school that brought Vlade Divac to the league. He entered the NBA at age 25, but he entered into the Jordan Chicago Bulls and proved he had a right to be on that team. And if Michael Jordan thought you were good enough to play with him, then you were good enough. He won 3 NBA championship rings and was voted the 6th player of the league in 1996, and he was the 3rd scorer behind Jordan and Pippen on those championships winning Bulls teams. Number 5. Tony Parker. In the second part of the aforementioned trio, Tony Parker is probably the best French basketball player of all time, and also a player who took the spotlight on those magnificent Spurs teams that won 4 championships together. He was the last to retire from that Spurs dynasty, finishing his career with 6 All-Star appearances and 1 Finals MVP in 2007. On average, he scored 15.5 points, 5.6 assists, and 2.7 rebounds throughout his career. But he will be remembered as an astonishingly quick player who slashed his way through defenses with fast-paced changes. Number 4. Manu Ginobili. Ginobili was the older part of the iconic San Antonio Spurs trio, Ginobili, Parker, Duncan. Even though Tim Duncan was technically born outside the United States, he was a USA national, and as such won't be on this list, but Ginobili and Parker most definitely are. Ginobili was drafted as the 57th overall pick in 2002. He joined the Spurs after winning the EuroLeague the previous season. He played as a backup almost all of his NBA career, but not once made an issue about it. His connection with Coach Popovich was great, allowing them to win 4 NBA titles together. As a player, Manu was a prolific scorer, great passer, great defensive player, an all-around player who did what was asked and never complained about it. Even though he won an Olympic gold medal in 2004 with Argentina, the Eurostep phenomenon was always a little underrated. Number 3. Pau Gasol. One of the best Spanish players ever, if not the best, Pau Gasol is the only still active player on this list. Generation of Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, he played against them in Europe and continued to battle them over in the NBA. He is one of the most intelligent and active players ever, especially in the center position. Most of his highlights came from his time as a Laker, when he and Kobe Bryant won not 1, but 2 championships. During that time, he also won 4 All-NBA teams, Rookie of the Year in 2002, and was voted 6 times for the All-Star Games. Even though he's in the latter years of his career, he's still very productive for his minutes. Number 2. Steve Nash. The ultimate point guard, Steve Nash was a product of an old-school point guard that could shoot, assist, rebound, and be an all-around player, especially on the offense. Even though he never won a ring, his career percentages show that he was one of the best point guards ever to play the game, and if you watch him play, you will quickly see why. The heart and soul of the famous 7 seconds attack, he was a constant offensive menace, which couldn't really be defended, and that's a mark of the big guys. Number 1. Vlade Divac. Vlade Divac didn't necessarily have the best career of the players on this list, but his legacy is so much bigger than just the court. He entered the league in 1989, drafted by Los Angeles Lakers, and quickly adapted to the Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar-led team. His game was noticeable, mostly for his high IQ and passing skills, a thing which he brought from Europe to the US. His most important legacy, though, is that he was a part of the first few players that came to the NBA from Europe in the late 80s, and he opened the doors for all of them to come. Even though he didn't win big personal awards, he was an icon of the NBA and a player that opened the doors for the rest of this list to enter the league. I want to thank all of you who watched the video, and if you liked it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. If you want to be entered to win our monthly shoutout giveaway, make sure you subscribe, like, and then comment below that you subscribed. And until next time, I'll see you on the court.